Now, more of Illinois Rising, presented by the Illinois Policy Institute, the only show directly addressing the problems and solutions for Illinois. Now, from AM 560, here's Dan Proft.
Dan Proft back with Pat Hughes, co-founder of the Illinois Opportunity Project, on this edition of Illinois Rising. Thanks for joining us. And Pat, 45th Ward feudal lord John Arena, if he gets tired of being a member of the city's ruling class, he could perhaps go read sports scores over at ABC7 Chicago with Mark Giangreco, because he doesn't have much time for Trump supporters, and he's not afraid to express his opinion on social media. It's rather incredible, actually, for a guy who won his first race by like 12 votes and won his last election by about 1,000. It's Northwest Side. A lot of white ethnic families have voted for Trump. No, it's still a Democrat ward, and more people voted for Hillary Clinton than voted for Trump. But it seems odd that somebody would go out of their way to say, for example, the following: I am not ready to cede this country to the racist, classist, knuckle-dragging, and generally subhuman puddle of DNA that makes up the base of President Donald Trump's supporters. We have made too much progress in scrubbing the George Bush idiocy from the Oval Office.
What a wonderful person he is. First of all, what is a puddle of DNA? Like, is that a Watson and Crick type of thing? Like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know if he's familiar with the double helix or not.
I'm sure. You know, Dean, I grew up, as you know, on the Northwest Side, and I know these folks pretty well. And I agree. It is more of a Democrat, obviously, than traditional Republican. But Trump's not a traditional Republican anyway. Hardworking people that I think Trump would appeal to a lot of those folks who have been screwed economically by Democrats, including the alderman. And so to sort of talk to your voters in that way, and if they have a sympathy for Trump, even if they didn't vote for him, or they want to give him a chance and sort of tie them to being...
Well, it's not even about Trump. It's about I disagree with you, so you're a subhuman puddle of DNA.
Correct. And first of all, it's politically stupid, right? But it's also just tactless and arrogant, and it just goes to show how insular these folks are, right? This is like the Pauline Kael circumstance. You know, I don't know anybody who voted for him because he only hangs out with people who think this way, even because he doesn't spend any time with his constituents. This is what makes him think he should say things like this.
Well, I suppose, yeah, he feels perfectly insulated from political accountability on the issue, which, maybe speaks to an opportunity that is present there. He also had other things to say.
Thank God. I'm so glad.
He's got a lot of things to say. He weighed in on the out-migration from Illinois to places like Indiana, and he said to those people who are leaving or complaining about the cost of living here versus opportunities in Indiana, what that cost of living looks like, go ahead, move to Indiana, and live in a third-world economy, S-blank-itty schools, and low wages. And he's not done. And read a newspaper or something, rail against everything, but offer no ideas and think only of yourself. Time to grow up and be a part of society, says the selfless Alderman John Arena.
Aren't they part of the society does Indiana have a society? Isn't that part of society, Indiana? I mean, this is just an absurdity. First of all, Indiana is kicking the you-know-what out of us currently. Manufacturing companies are leaving there in droves because of workers' compensation costs and our outrageous property taxes that we talk about all the time. Plus, I've been to Indiana many times. It's a lovely state. There's lovely people. There are wonderful places to live there. And we need to think in terms of competing with Indiana and not bashing the people who are going to leave.
Well, it's interesting as well because this week, U.S. News and World Report came out with their list of best governed states, their ranking. The best governed state in the nation, according to U.S. News and World Report, this will come as a shock to John Arena, is our neighbor to the east, Indiana.
It's not the city of Chicago where Arena flies his trade? That's not the top one?
That's not a state.
Right, no, I know, but that's not the top one.
No. And Illinois, not even on the list because we've been downgraded to a territory. That's how bad it is. Illinois, 47th on the U.S. News and World Report list. So tell me again, who's the banana republic and who isn't? It's just fascinating. But again, this is a couple of things. Why Trump? And, oh, by the way, on the Northwest Side, including in Arena's 45th Ward, there is a blade of grass that has grown up through the sidewalk called the Northwest Side Republican Organization. A guy named Matt Podgorski runs it, and it's really filled with Trump supporters that are not kind of traditional dyed-in-the-wool Republicans. They're motivated because of the revolt that took place at the national level in November of 2016. They're really motivated because of Trump. And so maybe there will be a little reckoning there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Arena and people like him are going to be able to, at least on the margins, get away with this type of rhetoric and thinking in the short term. But with groups like you just mentioned and what's going on nationally and sort of how the middle class and the lower middle class that I grew up in this very area is starting to realize how screwed they're getting by the structures that are in place. If I'm Arena, I'd watch out because his political career could be very short-lived.
Well, and maybe if you own an Italian eatery, you want to watch out as well. One of my papers, Chicago City Wire, did a piece called "Chicken Parm with a Side of Political Profanity." This is about Club Lago. You are a connoisseur of food.
I love Club Lago.
Yeah. Do you? Are you familiar with its owner, Giancarlo Nardini? Get familiar with him. Giancarlo Nardini's social media posts about, say, for example, President Trump at the end of February. This president is a horrible, horrible C word.
He used the C word.
And just so you were sure, he went on in all caps, horrible, horrible, horrible C word. This president is a horrible, horrible C word.
Is there like a something other than a C word is like a good C word or a great C word? Why does he keep saying horrible all the time? Once he says C word, doesn't that say it all?
For emphasis.
Yeah.
Also, he weighed in on Scalia.
Did he have a bunch of exclamation points at the end?
Scalia. He likes the repetition. He likes the rhythm of this when he's inveighing with invective. What a horrible piece of Shiite. Smart man, horrible piece of Shiite. So, again, the repetition. Are you starting to kind of get the beat of this?
Yeah.
Also, again, in response to Trump, Jesus, period. This is effing Hitler, Shiite. These are just posts. Like an endless stream of posts.
Hey, at least he believes in Jesus. Come on, give him some credit.
Absolute load of bull jive. He is what the Republican Party gives us. What a complete load of bull jive.
So we're going to have to find another Italian restaurant.
And he's going to have to find a dictionary so he can come up with synonyms for some of his favorite words. But yeah, this is one of the things where we just profile it. And he can say whatever he wants. If he thinks this is best practices, even for people who are not Trump supporters, you think people like somebody using this kind of language to describe the President of the United States or describe anybody and posting it on social media? This is the kind of ignoramus. I want everybody to see what I'm saying and how I'm saying it. I want to shout it from the rooftops. That's why it's in all caps. So there's a lot of places for you to enjoy your chicken parm in the city. I'd suggest Club Lago no longer be one of them.